Hi there, I'm Ritmo, and you're watching Cheap Shot Entertainment.
Friend! Oh, new friend! Oh, friend! Please be my friend! Oh, friend!
Hello and welcome to Cheap Shot Entertainment. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. I am your host, Luke, and we're going to take you through everything that happened on the two shows during the Christmas Chaos tour of House of Pain that we went to. One in Reneth on the 21st of December, which was a Friday, and the 5th annual show taking place in Hino. Got a really good following in Hina now, so a bit more Hina shows coming your way very soon. But I'm going to go through everything that happened in those two shows. I'm going to do it in one giant video, and I'm going to reveal the poster right now. And there it is, the poster for the Christmas tour of House of Pain. Incidentally, the Hina show happened on the 23rd, which was the Sunday. Both shows and all shows during the Christmas period were £3 to get in. Absolute bargain for top-notch entertainment. And get down to your local wrestling shows, support them, support the guys and girls that put their bodies on the line for our entertainment. It's cheap, it's good entertainment, it's family entertainment, and it's better than sitting on your bottom and watching the WWE Network. Although I do have the WWE Network, and I do that quite often actually, but I'd still go down and check out some of the local shows, because supporting those local shows will keep wrestling on the revolution in Britain until further notice, going into 2019. Anyway, I'm recording this on Christmas Eve, on New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year to all of the Cheap Shot Nation. And obviously you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe and share us with your friends. Leave comments. I'm getting a lot of comments through other people. Leave comments for me. It inspires me to do more stuff, and I know people are watching it, so please give me feedback like I give you feedback if you're one of the wrestlers, because supporting each other is the way this thing is going to move on into 2019 and beyond. Anyway, with that note, I'm going to go on to the first match in Reneth, and we'll see you in just a second. And so the first match of the evening on the 21st of December featured a 6-man tag match, including the great Tommy Taylor tagging with John Allens and Dante Durden, who I've never seen before. So interesting to see new talent on show in Reneth on the 21st. They're going against Riley Nova, a chap called Kite, more new talent that I've not seen before from in other venues around the Midlands, and Tristan Wheeler, face Tristan Wheeler. I don't know when that happened, but cool, you know. Can always get behind Queen and Bicycle Race as an entrance theme, knowing that it's a family show, and that video is very, very unfamily friendly, which is really funny. Anyway, so back and forth match. There was isolation of Kite by the Dastardly Trio in the opposite corner for a lot of the match. Tristan Wheeler put in a good show here as well as a face guy, and Kite put in some good moves as well, but obviously all the attention was on Riley Nova being part of the Teenage Heartbreakers, or High School Heartbreakers as it were, with him being probably the most experienced of the trio. Anyway, it would turn out to be a Tristan Wheeler win on this one, with all of the guys out of the ring. Tommy Taylor was holding Kite he wasn't, he was holding Tristan Wheeler for Durden to hit him with a roundhouse kick. Tristan Wheeler moved out of the way, and Durden hit Tommy Taylor with a side kick. With the great Tommy Taylor down on the mat, Tristan Wheeler managed to roll up Durden for the win, and your winners for the first match in Reneth were Riley Nova, Kite and Tristan Wheeler, with Tristan Wheeler getting the win over Dante Durden. After the match there was an attack, there was a bit of to and fro from Durden, Allens and Tommy Taylor, with Tommy Taylor blaming Durden for the loss because he got pinned, also for kicking him upside the head. There was then an attack by John Allens on Dante Durden, which we would see continue throughout the night. Dante Durden managed to clear the ring of the two guys who would be his attackers, and walked out with his head held high with an applause from the Reneth crowd. Like I say, we'd see that later on in the night, during the Royal Rumble, in fact. Like I say, we'd see that during the night, during the Rumble in Reneth, the first ever Reneth Rumble, which would come up later in the show. The second part of the evening, straight after the first match, we see an entrance from loudmouth Davey Thompson introducing his militia teammate Timberwolf, who would come down to the ring, current House of Pain tag team champion with Baines, with Jackson Baines, and so we get an introduction to Timberwolf. He would then go on a bit of a tearing into the crowd, and eventually calling out the biggest dog in the yard, Styx, for a match later on in the night. Of course, Styx replied with what anyone would reply with, I've always got my kit in the back and I'm ready to go whenever you are. So we would get that match in the second half. We get Paul Styx Grint, the heavyweight House of Pain, versus Timberwolf, at this point one half of the House of Pain tag team champions. So we move on to the second match of the evening, which would be a triple threat match featuring Danny Chase, the absolute legend Danny Chase, Diamond Dave Andrews, and the loudmouth Davey Thompson. The match starts out with a lot of hugging. It is Christmas time after all. Davey Thompson does feel left out at this. Diamond Dave Andrews goes to hug him, and the crowd is behind this, hug it out. Davey Thompson pushes him away, doesn't want the hug. The match starts. Again, lots of back and forths with this. It would see Diamond Dave Andrews do a suicide dive over the top rope onto the other two competitors, leading to Davey Thompson getting a bit of a bloody nose and being out for most of the rest of the match, leaving Diamond Dave Andrews and Danny Chase to duke it out. Former members of Battle Squad Awesome in Hope Wrestling. Don't know if they had that tag team in House of Pain, but I think they were a tag team in House of Pain at some point. But the absolute legend manages to pick up the win with Davey Thompson outside of the ring on Diamond Dave Andrews, and it would be another roll up on Diamond Dave Andrews after he misses his Diamond Cutter move for the win. So your winner in the second match is the absolute legend Danny Chase. And your third match of the evening, the first half main event, would see the other half of the House of Pain tag team champions, and together one half of the Malian Militia, featuring Bjorn and Jackson Baines, and they're going to go up against a team that we don't know yet. Kyle Kingsley comes out to the ring. He's dressed a little bit differently. He's got pink and black on. Think we know what's coming. He introduces his tag team partner. We get to see Robert Sharp for the first time in House of Pain Wrestling. Me personally, that is. I'm sure he's been there before, and I'm a bit gutted that I didn't get paid until the 28th because he had his t-shirt there, which I would have absolutely bought. It says Mighty Ducky on it, and because I'm from Derbyshire, that is definitely an East Midlands term. So I would have bought that if I'd have had the money, but I did not. So unfortunately, I've missed out on that one. Never mind, eh? But yeah, Filthy Gorgeous in House of Pain Wrestling for the first time that I've seen since I've been following House of Pain Wrestling from the beginning of the year. And they've reunited to win the match. Lots of shenanigans, as you would expect. Carl Kingsley gets low blowed a couple of times. Robert Sharp, of course, laughs at him. Very much a mate's reaction there. You can tell these two guys are mates outside of the ring as well as inside of the ring, but they both have each other's backs. They have good tag team chemistry. They always have done, and they dominate the match for the most part, with Jackson Baines hitting some high power moves, and Bjorn using his high flying techniques to try and ground Filthy Gorgeous. The match finishes with Jackson Baines taken outside of the ring and unable to come and save Bjorn. The match finishes with Robert Sharp tombstoning tombstoning Bjorn into the mat with help from Carl Kingsley, an assisted tombstone. The match finishes with Robert Sharp pinning Bjorn for the win, and those two guys then stay in the ring for the halftime photos. Your winners for the third match, a tag team match, are Filthy Gorgeous, Carl Kingsley and Robert Sharp. And so the start of the second half, we see Paul Sticks Grint, the heavyweight House of Pain, go against Timberwolf, who challenged Sticks earlier in the night to a match, the biggest dog in the yard. Surprisingly, Timberwolf did win this, dominated a lot of the match, which was interesting actually, because you would expect Sticks to come out with his power game. Did attack Paul Sticks, did attack Sticks early on in the match to gain the advantage. Sticks never really recovered from that initial attack and succumbed to Timberwolf via a pump handle drop after being beaten down for quite a lot of the match. So your winner in this match, the first half. So your winner for this match is Timberwolf, like I say, dominating the match for most part, with Sticks getting a few heavyweight House of Pain moves in there, some high octane, hard hitting moves, and showing his strength, but just could not get the win over Timberwolf in this one. So your winner for this match is Timberwolf. And so we move on to the main event of the evening, the first time ever that we've had a Rumble in Reneth. First time ever we've been to the Reneth venue, and it is a very nice venue. If you're in the Reneth area, in the Nottinghamshire area, go and check it out. It's a really nice venue for a wrestling show, and it's the first time, like I say, ever that we've had a Rumble there. There's been lots of Rumbles this year, and they've tried to do one in most every place that they go to, including in Hena and Beeston and all those kind of venues as well. But we would see the eventual winner, who would go on to get a title shot of his choosing. I'm guessing that he'll probably go, or anyone would probably go, for the House of Pain Championship, the overall championship. But we start the match with the first two entrants. The only way to be eliminated from this match is to go over the top rope with both feet touching the floor. There would be some near and close counters in this match, but eventually we did have a winner. There would be some shenanigans inside and outside the ring during the Rumble, but the first two entrants are as follows. Stevie Mitchell comes in at number 1, and the second entrant in the Rumble is Brandon, the teenage prodigy Brandon. We see Troy come in at number 3 with Bam Bam Barton coming in at number 4. Spencer would then come in at number 5. BFD would come in at number 6. Dante Durden made his entrance to the ring. He was attacked by John Allens and never made it to the ring. He was never eliminated, never entered, but he never came back out until later on. But he didn't come back out and enter the Rumble like he probably deserved to, but I'm really thinking that leads to something else later down the line. I want to see more of Dante Durden because I found his wrestling style very reminiscent of CM Punk, and yeah, I like CM Punk. I still like CM Punk. It's a shame they fell out of love with wrestling in the independent scene and with WWE. But yes, we see Dante Durden come in next. Tristan Wheeler is your 8th competitor. Davey Thompson, it comes out next at number 9 with Robert Sharp coming out at number 10. At this point, we have our first elimination, which would be Stevie Mitchell, and Brandon would come out. Brandon would be eliminated by Davey Thompson. So we have Jackson Baines next, followed by John Allens. So we'd see John Allens come out at number 11. He was attacked by Dante Durden, returning the favour from earlier in the Rumble, as Durden was attacked by John Allens. John Allens did get eliminated, should be noted. Jackson Baines comes out next, and he is eliminated by Danny Chase, who comes in a little bit later in the Rumble. Bjorn comes out after Riley Nova, who comes out at number 13. Bjorn comes out at number 14. Kite makes his second appearance of the night at number 15, followed by Kingsley, followed by the great Tommy Taylor, followed by Danny Chase, the absolute legend Danny Chase, and Diamond Dave Andrews gets the best number in a Rumble at number 20. There's only 20 competitors in this Rumble. So like I say, Stevie Mitchell went out first, followed closely by Brandon, who was eliminated by Davey Thompson. Troy would go out at number 13 after being beaten and battered and shot by almost everyone that was in the ring, and he was eliminated by Diamond Dave Andrews. Bam Bam Barton got eliminated at number 4 by Jackson Baines, probably the only man with the strength to chuck him over the top rope. Spencer got eliminated in 3rd by Robbie Sharp, and BFD also got eliminated by Robert Sharp as well. Tristan Wheeler eventually gets eliminated after a fantastic showing in the Rumble by both Troy and Davey Thompson. Davey Thompson then gets eliminated by Riley Nova. Jackson Baines eliminates Robert Sharp at number 6. So yeah, Robert Sharp went out really early. Jackson Baines followed him at number 7. Riley Nova went over the top rope and both feet hit the floor at number 11. Kyle Kingsley eliminated Bjorn. Tommy Taylor eliminated Kite at number 10. And DDA eliminated the great Tommy Taylor at number 15. Bearing in mind the two guys that didn't get to the ring or got eliminated earlier or never even entered the ring. Kyle Kingsley is the man in this Rumble, eliminating 3 competitors on his own, eliminating Danny Chase at number 14, and eventually it comes down to Diamond Dave Andrews and Kyle Kingsley. There's a bit of back and forth. Kyle Kingsley eventually gets DDA off the apron after some fighting on the apron, and Kyle Kingsley is your winner in this Rumble. So Kyle Kingsley is the winner. The bee's knees of breaking backs is your winner, and he gets the opportunity to challenge the whoever is the House of Pain champion at the point where he puts in his challenge. He gets to challenge for whatever title he wants, whenever he wants, and wherever he wants. I'm guessing he'll go for the House of Pain Championship, but I could be wrong. He could bring back Robert Sharp and go for the Tag Team Championship. Who knows? But your winner of the Rumble in Reneth is Kyle Kingsley. So that is one half of a great show for the Christmas tour of House of Pain. Coming up is the second part, and we're going to do this as one big video for the whole weekend. So join us for that in just a second. So moving on to show number 2 of that weekend. It happened on the 23rd of December, and it was at the William Gregg Leisure Centre in Heanor. Great venue, great crowd to get all the wrestlers going, although it was slightly more quiet this time. Again, £3 is your price. Yeah, 3. I don't know why I keep doing that, I always get it wrong. Yeah, £3 was your price to get in, and so yeah, it's always worth having a look on the House of Pain official page on Facebook to see what other really good offers they've got on. You've also got a chance to win tickets as well on there, so it's always worth going to check out those smaller shows to win those tickets and support the ladies and gentlemen that put their bodies on the line for our entertainment once again. So again, this is the second show that we went to over that weekend. It was a 5-show weekend, beginning actually in the weekend before, which you'll see on the poster anyway, just here somewhere. Yeah, so we're going to go straight into this one with the first match. Your first match of the afternoon, because the show started at 2:30, was Riley Supernova, and he was going against the great Tommy Taylor. And so again, very evenly matched, these two superstars of House of Pain, very evenly matched, very similar styles, with Tommy Taylor playing the bad guy, including a spot early in the match where Tommy Taylor got dumped out of the ring by Riley Nova, crawled under the ring and came up at the back. Very pantomimey, but he came into the ring like this, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious, and shouting, "It's behind you," and very, very Christmassy here in the UK, that reference there. But Riley Nova manages to get the best of Tommy Taylor, even with all his underhanded dirty tactics that the great Tommy Taylor pulls out in all of his matches. Riley manages to hit the Fisherman's Buster on Tommy Taylor after some more back and forth action, high flying, high intensity action, and gets the pin. So Riley Nova is your winner of the first match, and he goes over Tommy Taylor via pin and picks up the win. Your second match of the afternoon was a tag team match featuring Pretty Boy Nathan Nix, again another person that I've never seen before, wearing very much a Jeff Jarrett style of Double J Jeff Jarrett style of ring attire, and ain't he great? Quite entertained by this guy. Came and sat on someone's knee right in front of me, which was quite funny because she pushed him off. Yeah, my cousin Zena, who is notable by her absence in this video because she's not very well, along with the rest of the crew on Cheap Shot Entertainment, which is why I'm doing this myself. So get better soon to you guys, and hopefully you'll be on the next set of videos that we do for all of the shows that we go and see. But yeah, Nathan Nix was tagging with BFD, Big Freaking Dan, and they were going against Michael Rothrock and Retro Ash Cady, and unfortunately the heels win this one with some dirty underhanded tactics. There was a lot of fighting on the outside of the ring, a lot of distraction of the referee. Michael Rothrock couldn't quite bring his experience edge into this match for the win, tagging with Retro Ash Cady, who again I've never seen before, but again pulled out some really good moves and some really entertaining wrestling. I love tag team wrestling. I love the fact that it's very ripe in independent wrestling right here in the UK and especially in the East Midlands. Some of the best matches I've seen this year have been tag team matches, and like I say, I love tag team wrestling. But the eventual winners of this match via an assisted code breaker were Pretty Boy Nathan Nix and BFD. They walk off celebrating, riling the crowd up, calling out the face guys who are in the ring, and just generally being sore winners, which you'd expect from two bad guys in wrestling. So they walk out, they are the winners. Rothrock and Retro Ash Cady do get a round of applause from the healer crowd, appreciative of their efforts in this match, but unfortunately they came up short against their opponents. And so the third match of the afternoon, it wouldn't be a Christmas tour without some reference to characters that are based around Christmas. It features the Grinches versus the Santas, and it is a 6-man tag match. Quite entertaining the Grinches are. They all come out telling people why they hate Christmas. The highlight of this was Danny Chase, as he quotes George Michael. Last year he gave someone his heart and the very next day she gave it away, and that's why he hates Christmas. And I love things like that, little references, just pandering to the crowd. It made me laugh, and I'm very much invested in this match because I like all the guys in this match, perhaps more on the Grinch's side on this match, because I do like Davey Thompson and I love Troy, brilliant characters, and also Danny Chase. It's an absolute legend. I don't know how many times I've said that in this video, but he is. And they're going against the Santas. Ripmo, dressed as an elf. I don't know whether he gets called an elf quite a lot, but whatever. And he's dressed as an elf. We've got Big Mike Wild. He's not going to be dressed like an elf. He's dressed like, Big Mike Wild. And Garrett G. Wiz, we haven't seen for quite a while. Former heavyweight House of Pain champion. So this match is crazy. It's crazy. We've got Big Mike Wild down on one knee at one point in the match with all of the Grinches sitting on his knee, and he's reading his list. He's checking it twice, and he's telling them if they are naughty or nice. And surprisingly, between us, Davey Thompson was on the nice list. Has Santa not been watching House of Pain wrestling for the last year? Who knows? But I think he needs to start watching Cheap Shot Entertainment, because I'll tell you, Santa, Davey Thompson is definitely not on the nice list of 2018, but it turns out that he was on the nice list. He gets a chop for his efforts. Happy Christmas, Davey Thompson. And Danny Chase as well gets chopped, as well as Troy, who all try and get on the nice list. I thought this was a highly entertaining match with lots of shtick in it, and this may lead to me doing a little bit of a write-up on what I think of professional wrestling. There's a massive discussion as to whether wrestling is entertainment or sport or whatever, but I'm going to put it down in ink and do a little bit of an article on that, I think. But this definitely plays towards the pantomime type style of professional wrestling, which I really like. I love a good story. I've said that on the channel before. Love a good story. You can have the best match in the world, but if the characters have got no character in them, then the match will not be entertaining, and if there's no story to tell, people will not care about the match. But yeah, very entertaining match. Eventually the Santas win with an assisted tombstone on the Grinches, and Ritmo, Big Mike Wild and Garrett G. Wiz are your winners, and they eventually stay in the ring for photos at half time with the appreciative Hina crowd. So once again, your winners are the Santas. Christmas was saved on the 23rd in Hina, and what a great match. So your first match of the second half of the William Gregg Leisure Centre show on the 23rd in Hina featured Gabriel Kidd, who came out to the ring, World of Sport star on ITV, comes out to the ring and calls and says, I am issuing an open challenge, the Gabriel Kidd Open Challenge. Not taking that from Tristan Wheeler at any point, maybe, I don't know. Gabriel Kidd comes out, challenges anyone in the locker room to come out and face him one-on-one in the middle of the squared circle. Who comes out and answers that question? None other than Kanji, the House of Pain Women's Champion. She is not afraid of anything. Really good wrestler, young wrestler, trained 6 months, now an absolute superstar on the indie scene. So she comes out. Gabriel Kidd, not appreciative of his opponent, who's answered the open challenge, saying that she's not ready. It's quite nice, but you can go back to the locker room now and I won't hurt you and all that kind of stuff. A very chauvinistic view of women's wrestling there, Gabriel Kidd. But it played to the crowd, and again the character works. So yeah, we saw Kanji do some high flying, but ultimately she did succumb to the more power orientated Gabriel Kidd, and eventually went down to a tombstone pile driver, the second tombstone pile driver of the afternoon. Went down eventually to a tombstone pile driver after putting on a really good show, an absolutely superhuman effort against a full-on TV professional superstar such as Gabriel Kidd. Gabriel Kidd wins the match over Kanji and continues his role in Hina. Came out last time I was in Hina in October, and comes out again this time and doesn't show signs of stopping. One thing World of Sport do and have done is allow the superstars of World of Sport to branch out and go to other promotions as well as their own, so they can still carry on their wrestling. World of Sport incidentally does do series of wrestling shows rather than it being continuous such as a WWE. So yeah, Gabriel Kidd is a winner, winning again in Hina, which is very cool because I like Gabriel Kidd. I think he's he's a humongous talent, and trained with sticks, in fact. So there's a reason that he keeps coming back. And Gabriel, you're welcome anytime at William Gregg Leisure Centre. I find you very entertaining, and obviously it's always nice to see a superstar in Hina Leisure Centre in terms of independent wrestling and TV wrestling. So yeah, we're going to move on to the main event now, which was an absolute barn burner. And so your main event of the afternoon features Diamond Dave Andrews, and he is going against Paul Malin for the House of Pain Heavyweight Championship. And what a match this was. It went inside the ring, it was outside the ring. DDA was on top for quite a lot of it. Paul Malin was on top for quite a lot of it, and it was just back and forth and back and forth. Did see Diamond Dave Andrews get a bloody nose from a move at one point during the match, but he continued like the absolute trooper that he is, and superstar of the independent scene as well. Very well travelled is Diamond Dave Andrews, and so is Paul Malin. I like Paul Malin as well. Trainer in Aspire Wrestling, which we have done reviews of on Cheap Shot Entertainment. We're hoping to do some more after being contacted by some of the wrestlers that work or do shows for Aspire and train with Aspire. Yeah, really like Paul Malin. Think he's a really nice guy and puts on one heck of a show, a heck of a showman. But then again, so is Diamond Dave Andrews. The crowd is very much behind Diamond Dave Andrews in this match, being the good guy character, Malin being part of the militia. So yeah, it was always going to be one-sided with the crowd. There's missed chops against posts at one point during the match, which you could hear echo right through the sports hall because it was a sports hall facility. And yeah, eventually Diamond Dave Andrews, after hitting his finishing move, the Diamond Cutter, pins Paul Malin, your new House of Pain heavyweight champion, crowned in Hina on the 23rd of the 12th, 2018, is Diamond Dave Andrews, and all of the other wrestlers come out and celebrate with him. Rothrock and Ritmo and Big Mike Wild and all of those guys come out and celebrate with him. Big, huge win for Diamond Dave Andrews, and it would mark the downfall, the worst week in the Malin Militia's short lifespan, with Paul Malin losing that championship. At the end of the match, they did have a hug, and lots of respect there from both guys, knowing each other quite well and working with each other. Lots of respect there, so that was quite nice. Interestingly, we didn't see any of the militia come out for Paul Malin, but Malin, what a great champion he was, and will continue to be in Aspire Wrestling as well. After the celebrations finished, we saw a second appearance from Gabriel Kidd, coming out of the curtain and staring down Diamond Dave Andrews. I think the gauntlet has been thrown down by Gabriel Kidd, so hopefully when they do their next show in February, we may just get that match, as long as Diamond Dave Andrews is still the champion. But I can't believe it, Diamond Dave Andrews is your new House of Pain champion going into 2019. So well done, Diamond Dave Andrews. Been a follower of yours for many, or at least this year and a couple of years before that as well, since starting watching independent wrestling. So congratulations to Diamond Dave Andrews, your new House of Pain heavyweight champion. And so that is everything that happened on the two shows that we went to see over the Christmas tour for House of Pain, one on the 21st, one on the 23rd. That is all of everything that happened. You've seen Kyle Kingsley get a guaranteed title shot, and Diamond Dave Andrews pick up the championship in House of Pain Wrestling. Incidentally, the events that would follow Diamond Dave Andrews would be that the Saj Malik would pick up the middleweight championship, Michael Rothrock would pick up the Full Throttle championship, and Martial Law would pick up the House of Pain tag team championships. So Militia have been absolutely stripped of all of their championships. That also led to the Militia attacking Paul Malin and disbanding him from the group. Probably now just called the Militia rather than the Malin Militia. But that's an interesting story going into 2019. The independent scene is ripe, and watch right here as we follow the revolution in British wrestling. Once again, I've been your host Luke, you have been the Cheap Shot Nation. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Body slam that subscribe button, hit a flying knee on that notification bell to know when we upload new videos going into 2019. This will be the round off of season 1 of wrestling reviews by Cheap Shot Entertainment, and we'll see you in the new year. Once again, have a good new year and we'll see you in 2019. I've been your host Luke, you've been the Cheap Shot Nation. Goodbye.